Happy Tuesday. Welcome back to the show. We're on to Texas, the Houston Open being played not in November, in March, because it's March right now. Joining me, as you might know, Sam Wagman. Sam, how's it going?
It's going well. It's going well. We're moving on from Florida. So,
Good.
Florida comes and gone, and with that Florida swing came 4 straight weeks of me having a runner-up or T3 outright pick. So not good on those outrights, man. Not good on those outrights. And it's probably good that you didn't listen to me on Justin Thomas last week.
Yeah. Justin Thomas is going to Justin Thomas. He's on the no-bet list.
Oh my
He's on the no-bet list for a reason. I know everyone was excited. I'm like, I'm not going to be wrong about this one. Congratulations.
Oh, no, you were worried. Your text after the first 2 days. You were worried.
That's the beauty of it. Malnati pulling out the win at Valspar. Great guy. Outrights is a little not as fun as baseline. I didn't see a single person with the Malnati ticket. Did you?
No. People bet
I think I saw him in a couple of DFS lineups. I disagree with people. I think this tournament was great. Like I thoroughly enjoyed watching it.
I did too. I thought there was so much movement around the top from Chandler Phillips and Cammy Young and Malnati and even Stuart Sink in the early goings of it. Like this entire tournament, we've seen more parity from this tournament and than we have in the last 3 or 4 weeks combined. So I will say that was really nice, really fresh outlook. And from a course that's really difficult, like Innisbrook is, and how Innisbrook plays, despite the fact that it wasn't the strongest field, I was kind of surprised that we had so many relative unknowns at the top of the board. And it really felt like anybody could go out there and win, which is why I was so disappointed that Cam Young, once again, runner up.
Yeah. And Cam Young...
He's never going to win, is he? He's never going to win.
No, he's entered a club. So the club that Cam Young has now entered is the runner-up club with Xander and Cantlay. How many times can you be runner-up and not actually win? So this was his 7th runner-up in 60 starts. Congratulations, Cam Young. Not so congratulations to those who back him. Do you want to have a moment to talk about Cam Young, or are you okay to move past him?
No, I'm still in denial. I still need to go to therapy about it. I'm not ready to let him go yet. I refuse to not be on Cam Young when he finally wins the tournament. Like, the guy just has so much talent, and just something in his brain just isn't wired correctly. In terms of that killer instinct. And it's exactly him and Xander, they should have lunch every day.
Top 10 brain, just
maybe that's just what it is. Remember a couple of years ago when it was before Zalatoris won and everyone was like, we're just gonna bet him top 10 because he doesn't win. And then he started going out there and really showing that he could win these events. I just feel the floodgates will open when Cam Young does that. But I think going forward, he needs to go into the top 10 bin with Xander.
I think I've tweeted a couple times. My relationship with Xander is so much healthier, and I'm so much happier since I started betting him top 10 every week, because that's what he is. He likes to be runner-up. If he's not runner-up, he's still in that top 10. You're up units without getting the disappointment week to week. There's still weeks that I end up falling through and I end up still betting him. But we're on to the next tournament. I saw Hoops reference say JT banned. Yes, JT is banned. He's been on my list for quite a bit.
He won't go on my list.
Oh, whatever. Speaking of Hoops, though, many of the listeners still alive in my March Madness Survivor contest. Pretty impressed with how alive a lot of you are. I've seen some other ones fall off. Decided to make a new contest for starting with Sweet 16. So starts Thursday. $10 entry. We'll put the link in the YouTube description. I sent it out on Twitter already. You get 3 max entries. You pick 1 game a day. Kind of got a feel for what some of these teams are. So if your bracket got busted, like many people's did, or you're no longer in the Survivor because you suck, you can rejoin with me. And now we'll talk about golf, because that's what this show is for. So let's talk about this tournament here. Unfortunately for the field, Scottie is back. I'm happy. I love to watch Scottie. I'm unlike everyone else. I enjoy it. He's the favorite. And not really he's the favorite plus 500. No, he's the favorite. It opened at plus 300. I see
plus
it down
275.
Yeah, I saw it at plus 250 at a couple books this morning. Like I said earlier, this event has kind of moved November to March. Gives us these Bermuda greens that are overseeded with POA. That's something to take note of when looking at like the historical type stuff that we like to do. Only have 6 of the world's top 30 in this field. It's quite the field. And you've seen the range of the guys that won the last 3 years. Finau won last year, but then there was a 50 to 1, 160 to 1. So looking at this course, what did you look for when you started kind of digging into your research?
So first of all, I do want to preface us talking about this tournament by saying Scottie at 3 to 1 and 250 and 275. It's a war crime. It should be a war crime. It should be punishable by death.
It's accurately priced. The issue is everyone else. I think if you're gonna set the number for Scottie at plus 300, fine. But like, give us a little bit more on some of these other guys.
Yeah, especially guys like Thigala and Zalatoris, who are now in the teens at some books, and I just don't think it should be that way for some of those guys. But all right, moving on to what we're looking at here. Memorial Park is actually one of the more difficult courses on the PGA Tour. It's played really tough over the past years, but I will say from an agronomy standpoint, and I sent this to you the other night. Yeah, pulling out those golf terms now.
Yeah.
From literally the legend himself, PGA Splits, Ron Kloss, leads up Betsperts Golf over there, put out a really interesting note that the rough is different. It's less penal. You're going from 2.5 inch really penal rough to 1.25 inch ryegrass rough, which is not nearly as penal. The greens are going to be POA overseeded with Trivialis, which is a little bit of an easier surface to putt on as well. So along with the switch in time frame, you're getting an easier course here as well. This is still playing at one of the longer courses on tour. It's over 7,400 yards. It's got 5 par 3s as well. So
and some really long par 4s.
Yeah. So you want to have par 4 scoring. I would say one of the things that goes underlooked about this course is the tight runoffs around the green. You want guys who are really good at chipping from tight lies. Looking at comp courses like Augusta National is an interesting start here with a ton of tight runoffs and some more penal rough. The Renaissance Club, where they host the Genesis Scottish Open, is another course that I looked at as a comp course here. Bay Hill, you have some of those like Tom Doak style courses because this is a Doak design. But yeah, this can be a very difficult course here. This is the 4th year of play at Memorial Park. It's gone through a lot of sponsorship changes, but it hasn't gone through a course change over the last few years. So Memorial Park is there at 7,400 yards, and the shortest par 3 has an scoring average of over par as well. Same with the shortest par 4 and the shortest par 5. So there's some difficult holes on this course, and conditions can get really interesting here. Something I looked at, I decided to be a really big weather nerd about this tournament.
You got a little you went down a rabbit hole, but
I really did.
Share with the group, show and tell what you found.
Yeah, so I went down a weather rabbit hole here, and I wanted to look at the temperatures, the rain, frequency, and the wind speeds. So for the temperature, I mean, Houston's pretty hot year round, not much changes there. March is one of the nicer months to visit Houston. It's not too hot yet. And then, also in November, it starts to cool down and gets, a little chilly sometimes at night as well. There's no freezing days in March like there are in November. But the average daily temperature high is pretty similar in both months. It ends up in the low 70s. In terms of the rain, it rains more in November than it does in March. There's an average of 7.5 days of rain in March with 7.9 days in November, meaning that we have a better chance of clear skies this week there. Not too much cloudiness as well. So should be some better weather there. And then the wind is the big one that I found. So March has the highest average wind speeds of the calendar year for Houston, an average wind speed of 9.3 miles an hour. And November is the 8th highest wind speed month with 8.5-mile winds on average. Now, it doesn't seem like a lot, might not be that crazy, but if it's the difference between getting, 20 and 25 mile an hour gusts and getting, the 15 to 20 mile an hour gusts, those gusts can definitely make a difference on the course, if they come across in weird spots, those swirling winds. So definitely some things to take, note of. I do think the course is going to play a lot easier than it typically does. And I think we're going to see some lower scores out there, but that wind is definitely something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, for sure. I think ultimately looking for these like all around players, reliable short game, good ball striking, good distance. I weighed putting a little bit heavier than I had the last couple of weeks, just because the last 3 winners ranked in top 5 in strokes gained putting. Tee to green matters. Like it really is just like a complete test. There's birdie opportunities, taking advantage of those matter, par 3 scoring, that type of thing. Bogey avoidance, scrambling, pretty standard stuff. So let's get into it. Let's talk about some of these smash or pass bets. First one up here. This man is so lucky that I'm still a big fan of him because he broke my heart. Smash or pass, sex icon Keith Mitchell, which I don't know if he deserves that name anymore. Top 20 plus 180, smash or pass.
That dunk on Saturday, still like replaying it in my head. Just
lay off the Bush lattes. Like he definitely had a couple too many bevies again.
Absolutely. Went out and crushed some beers with the boys.
I promise you, throw back multiple drinks after.
Brian Harman was at this event. I know they both went to Georgia. Maybe they had some just bevies after, B-Harm missed the cut. Maybe he stuck around to, watch his old buddy Keith play and saw Keith Duncan and was like, wow, man, let me, just buy me some beers. Let's down some, because he went out there and shit the bed on Sunday, man. The guy was 7 over by the turn. That was the worst display from a 2-shot lead that I have ever seen in my life.
You're going back to the well, aren't you?
I'm absolutely going back to the well.
I knew it. I fucking knew it. Okay.
T20 plus 180. It's a smash for me. He finished 9th here last year. He also had another top 15 finish a couple of years ago. Look, I mean, he plays these golf courses well. He's obviously in a really good run of form right now. He's finished, in the top 20 in both of his last 2 events. He's always solid on par 4 and par 5 scoring, ranks 18th and 35th in this field, in those 2 respectively. He's solid on approach. His comp course performance is really solid. I mean, I really didn't want to be on him. When I sent you these smasher passes last night, I sent them with absolutely no research at all and was kind of like looking forward to today, like seeing what I would find. And big vibe check. So, me finding out that Mitchell is not only a good fit for this course, he's got good results here as well. I mean, I'm kind of with it. Like his ball striking was really good here. He gained 1.78 strokes ball striking. That ranks 6th in this field last year. Was good tee to green as well. His driving accuracy, the total driving is going to be a really big thing here. You're going to hit driver off of a lot of holes here. It's pretty similar to
hitting everything left. Everything left.
I mean, he hit everything left in that final round, but he didn't do that. He hasn't done that much prior. Like it was very interesting to kind of see that. I have to think it was just nerves for him because he really came out there and played well. He gained in putting here last year, which we're not used to him seeing. And he's been really good around the greens, especially last week. And, obviously Valspar is kind of a tough test around the greens, but he looked good around the greens. So if he can get up and down from some of those tight lies around the greens, I think he'll be really solid here. So I do like the T20 plus 180.
Sometimes I wish you guys could see my notes, and like at some point I'm going to have to like write down just like the highlighted, the first note for Keith Mitchell is, I don't know, man. Like I just don't know if I can go through it again. Like there's so much to like here. You mentioned it. He's top 5 in this field in strokes gained approach last 24 rounds, made 6 straight cuts, 4 top 20s. Problem is, strokes gained Busch Lattes, not really a fan of. So I'm not sure yet. I think a matchup might be the play. I might end up getting in on this. I like the plus 180 because of the form. But losing those strokes putting last weekend, you just cannot do that here and expect to come in like top 20. So now that we spent plenty of time on sex icon Mitchell, let's talk about this guy. Talk about a vibe check. If you didn't, naughty people that did watch, he was wearing a bucket hat during that win. There's another guy on tour that loves himself. He loves himself a good bucket hat. So smash or pass. Joel Damon top 40 plus 110.
All right, so I saw like the announcement for this tournament, like they just threw in Joel Damon's name in there with like Scottie Scheffler and Will Zalatoris. I personally love that for Joel. Like, obviously, if you've watched Full Swing at all, you know, like, this guy is an absolute fucking vibe. Like, like the energy is there. Like, he's coming off a good performance at the Players, top 10 finish. And no, he didn't look that great last weekend, even though, you know, he was kind of a trendy pick to finish in the top half of the field. But like, I kind of like it here. Like, he's a good par 5 player. Like, you know, that's one of the things that's going to stick for me is his par 5 play is always on the money. It's just like his emotional state needs to be on the money. I wish we could like see, like, you know, I know we get like the previous season, like at the end of every season, like Full Swing comes out. I wish we could see this, like, you know, follow along with, you know, like some of the camera crews and stuff like that. It would be so cool to see because like his emotional state on a week-to-week basis, like, has to fluctuate, like, now that we know from him. But I really kind of like this. What'd you say the price was again?
He kind of has the emotion stuff down. So it's top 40 plus 110. If you're a degenerate like me, I've already sprinkled on the top 20 at plus 800. I think it's a ridiculous number. He has a 2.5 here. He's top 5 in strokes gained total at Memorial Park in the last, like, whatever amount of rounds. Again, vibe check. It's Joel Damon. We love Joel Damon. We're all for it. Bucket hat. Won last week. Good juju. There's something there. 3rd in strokes gained on approach last week. 3rd strokes gained tee to green at the Players where he finished T11. He's in a good spot. What concerns me, and it always concerns me with these guys that are, I don't want to say moody because moody's the wrong word, but they're emotionally invested to their game and they take it to heart. He cannot hemorrhage strokes putting here. And that's going to be his issue. So if he can keep his putting intact, like a top 20 at plus 800, love it. I'm not going to be as bold as everyone else to take him as like some long shot bet to win. But I think top 40 plus 110, especially if you want to throw that in like a parlay, is a really nice number. So I'm personally smashing it.
Yeah, that top 40 plus 110 is going to be a hit for me. I think when you're getting, so I think what's going to be an interesting look for us this week, we don't normally get to talk about these fall swing events in the spring and summer schedules because realistically, the amount of people that pay attention to fall swing golf versus spring and summer swing golf when all the top players are on tour is really, really minimal. So we very rarely get an opportunity like this. The last time I can remember us getting an opportunity to talk about it like this was the Zozo Championship a few years ago when Tiger played in it and won it. So, you know, it's not often that we get to see kind of these fall swing events highlighted. So a course like Memorial Park, you know, for the non-psychopaths out there who really sweat fall golf, kind of runs under the radar. And the golfers who perform well at that course run under the radar. And I think we saw a really good example of that last week with all of these top guys, Malnati and Chandler Phillips and a couple other guys who have really played well at Sanderson Farms over the past few years as well. And so that was a comp course that I didn't see anybody talking about over the past several months. And I think people are going to really use Sanderson Farms as a comp for Valspar going forward. And I think it's another interesting chance to see what these, you know, these fall swing events look like. And I think a guy like Joel Damon, who does play in that fall swing, and a lot of other guys who play in that fall swing that we normally see like grinding these top 40s out, I think this is a really good week to hop on some of those guys. So I'm all in on this.
All right, let's go on to the next one. Smash or pass, Willie's D outright 20-1.
Yeah, so this is going to be a really popular pick for a lot of people, and for good reason.
It's going to be a popular pick for the next 2.5 years, but
absolutely. And it's not just because this is Texas and he lives in Dallas. It's because he has played well, really well coming into this event. And I do think that it is time for him to win. So, look, he plays his best golf on long and difficult courses. I know the course isn't going to play as difficult as past years, but Memorial Park is still long and it is still plenty difficult. His past 24 rounds, he ranks third in strokes gained in difficult conditions. And he's obviously contended at major championships and elevated events in the best of fields with tough scoring conditions at numbers pretty similar to this. He's 20-1. We're used to seeing him at 30-1, in some of these like elevated events. So it's really not that much of a difference here. I'm not too worried about his missed cut at the Players. It's a very volatile event. It's very difficult. You need to really just be on your game there. And he's coming in with some really nice form. Obviously, the missed opportunity at Bay Hill the week before was definitely a struggle to watch through. But I do think like he can parlay that into some really good performance here. This is going to be a course that really lines up to all of his strengths. The ball striking is there. The putting even has been there on these, Bermuda overseed greens. Even the around the green game has been there for Zalatoris. But the putting and the off the tee game, or the ball striking and the off the tee game, are going to be the main reasons why this is my favorite outright play of the week so far. So that's a major smash for me at 20-1.
I'm passing on it. It doesn't do it for me. I don't know what it is. I think, and maybe I'm being a little bit of a brat, I think sometimes people get too excited about I don't know, he's a Texas guy. I know he's hitting his irons well and he's above average total driver. Like you look at things, I get why people want to bet him here. I think I probably have too many Willie's D burns. If you want to get me with the top 20 at plus 125, way easier to digest. Yeah. I'm out. His putting worries me. I could see himself getting into a little bit of trouble. Maybe I'll get there by the end of the week. Right now, it's a pass for me.
Don't worry. I'm going to bully you until you bet it the next couple of days.
Maybe like first round meter or like in a matchup. I don't know about that. Like Willie's D, I don't know. Not even DFS. I was going to try to say, but nah, it's not going to happen. Okay. Smash or pass. And this is because I just want to see where you're at with this. So Scottie Scheffler top 5 minus 125. If you've been watching the show since we started, I've been betting this every time he's in the field. We're up plenty of units. I'm out betting him. Like I'm not going to bet him pre-tourney when I can bet him in tourney live at likely longer odds, especially when we're sitting at like plus 250 and when I can get his top 5 at minus 125, which feels like a little bit of insurance. You look at the last tournament that he won, he was 12-1, 11-1, 4 strokes back. So if I can just wait and you let Scottie Scottie gets a clear view, I think that's a better way. He has the course record here. He's finished in the top 10 the last 2 years. It's hard for me to imagine a scenario, and we'll talk about someone later that I think I could see beating him like handedly, I guess. But for me, I like taking Scottie still top 5 minus 125. Where are you at with Scottie? Smash or pass?
All right. So I need to preface this with one thing, and it's not something I see people talk about enough. Scottie is not the type of guy who goes on these massive surge runs. And he doesn't always start that hot. He's not going to be the guy that strings together like 8 birdies in a row. That's not Scottie's game. Scottie's game is slow, methodical. He's gonna birdie, he's gonna par, then he's gonna birdie again. Scottie is very, very methodical. He's very, very easygoing. Like he's not going to go on like a torrid Hideki Matsuyama streak of scoring to kind of shift his odds one way or another. So I will say there's a lot of credence to waiting on Thursday for him to kind of, start out a little normally and then kind of pull the trigger, on like a top 5 if it gets to plus money odds, especially, in this scenario where his odds are so low and the margin of error is so low, for him before you really, shouldn't bet it. I really just don't think you should be betting Scottie anything pre-tournament right now. I definitely agree with you that you should be waiting for him. Like, he's the kind of guy that can go on a run, but it's not his MO. He's just very, very methodical in the way that he attacks courses. He doesn't have to fire at pins because he's going to be in that range. And it'll just all be about the putter for him. He's going to live or die on the putter every single week. Because we know the tee to green game is going to be there for him. So,
are
hopefully
you passing on the top 5 too?
I am. Pre-tournament, yes.
All right, we'll go into the next one.
Sorry, I know I'm rambling today.
No, you're not rambling. I just have been staring at this name. Smash or pass, Jason Day, top 20 plus 115.
So this was going to be a smash for me. It ended up being a pass by the end of it, though. And I'm not ignoring the fact that he rates out really well for this course. And I'm not ignoring the fact that he has both a T14 and a T9 in this event in the last 3 years he's played it. But I'm looking at his recent form, and every Thursday, and I feel like you and I have talked about this very frequently in the last few weeks with Jason Day. He starts out really hot, and then all the way down the weekend, he goes like this. Makes mistakes. It's just not there. And I don't know what it is with him, but his past 3 events, his Thursday score has been his best score by multiple strokes. And then he goes just straight downhill on the weekend. And his last 2 events, it's led them finishing outside of the top 30. At the Genesis, arguably he fell apart. And, if he hadn't played so good in the couple days before, then he would have been outside of the top 20 there as well. So I don't really know with it. I really want Jason Day to play well because I have a couple major outrights that I've bet on him already. And I really, really like the run of form he was in coming into the season and to start the season. But I don't know, maybe his body is just starting to get to that point where it breaks down after a few days.
It's going to be okay. It's not the vertigo anymore.
I don't know with him. So I'm going to pass on this. I would be, a little, I'm just hesitant to back Jason Day right now. He's definitely burned me the last few weeks, both top 20 and outright betting. And I'm just going to pass on it again this week. I'm not going to get suckered into it.
I'm going to get suckered into it. I'm going to smash it. I think that the around the green game is something that could take him, push him past a lot of the players here. He's missed only 1 cut. He's got 3 top 10s. He's in good form. As long as he doesn't do the, like you were saying, yeah, we're in a good spot with Jason Day. Do I think Jason Day is going to win? I think Jason Day could win. The 28-1 is definitely tempting, but I'm not getting suckered into that. I think top 20, I can get there. This is a good course fit for him. So I'm going to smash. And with the last one here, not a player that I've heard you talk about yet. So let's see here. Smash or pass Theegala, top 20 plus 125.
I was really hoping we could wait till the latter part of the show to talk about him.
That's okay. We can lead into
Theegala.
it.
All right. Well, then I'll preface this by saying my dad bet of the week is Theegala top 20 minus 105.
Let's go.
Really just
minus what? I see a plus
minus 105.
I think there's a plus 120. Oh, is it because of your book?
It is probably because of my book. Where's the plus 125 at?
I think I got it at Bet Rivers. Let me look.
See what I don't have that damn book.
You keep telling your.
Anyways, again, I'm big on guys that live in Texas. Theegala moved to Houston last year, and he's always been, just a very solid player. The ball striking's there. His scoring in difficult conditions really intrigues me, and he's also turned his driver into a strength, which is my favorite part about Theegala this year. It was such a liability to watch him play off the tee with the big stick last year, and he's turned it into a literal strength. He is the number 2 ranked player in this field in strokes gained off the tee in difficult conditions this season. His shot making is really creative to combat the gusting winds, and his short game is absolutely tremendous. I don't know if anybody watching this is going to remember what he did at Augusta on the 16th hole last year during the Masters. Chipped it in, the very Tiger-esque shot that he hit, I believe it was 97 in the Masters there, where it just, starts at the top of the green, rolls down to the cup using the slope of the green. Theegala is really good around the green, these tight runoff spots. So I'm not worried about that at all. His driving distance is really solid. He's in really good form right now. And he also posted a 64 here in the final round last year on his way to a top 22 finish. So I'm all in on Theegala here. I really like the way he's playing. This is a place for him that he can go out and win. And, I do believe that it's going to be my favorite bet of the week.
I think I'm going to go ahead and make it my one and done as we are talking about it.
Yeah, I bet him outright too.
I was going to take Wyndham Clark. I think that's a cheap. I'm just trying to get out of it. So I think I want this Scottie Clark rivalry to be like a thing, which is why I think Wyndham Clark is the most well-rounded player in good form that could totally just like blow Scottie out of the water here. It's boring. We're going to go with Theegala. I think it's a great fit for the course. I like him in difficult conditions. We've said that all the time. He fits the vibe check. He moved to Houston last year. It's kind of that homecoming. He finished T22 last year. Like you said, shot a 64 on Sunday. 3 top 10s in the last 4. He's on an upward trend. I love an upward trend for Theegala. I think this is a great spot for him. 6th in total strokes gained, 7th in strokes gained putting, gaining almost a stroke per round. Just can't hemorrhage those strokes around the green, but he's been in a good spot. So I like Theegala here. I like
his weakness will always be the ball striking for him. Yeah, it can lead him to some bad situations, but his game around the green has been strong enough to the point where I think he can overcome that. So, that'll be obviously the key to this, but he puts himself in good spots off the tee. He's a really, really talented putter. So I'm with it.
All right. What's your one and done for the week?
Yeah. So my one and done is Zalatoris. But another one I will add as well that intrigued me a little bit is Sam Ryder, because we have some similarities to last week's course here. The par 5 scoring is definitely going to be a big one here. Some bogey avoidance, good playing on par 3s as well. I will definitely be, big fan of Sam Ryder. He's, always going to be good on the approach game as well. So you can get him at 110-1 right now. And I do like him on a course where he doesn't have to score as much. With the birdie opportunities kind of few and far between at this course, I do like being able to get Sam Ryder here. He's usually very good on those par 5s. Where he needs to attack. So give me Ryder here as a little bit more of a longer shot, but he's not my dog pick.
Okay.
Not my dog pick.
Sam Ryder almost made it as my dad bet. I like that top 40 plus 115. I'm with you. His last 3 top 40, including 2 top 20s.
Yep.
My issue is I think I do this every year with Sam Ryder, where I get really excited. I feel like he's flirting with the win. I bet him first round leader. And then I realize we got to stop betting Sam Ryder. So I'm not going to get there outright. I did it last week. I'm not going to do it again. I like the top 40 plus 115. The other guy that was in contention for my dad bet, but I decided to change it up. We'll go something a little bit spicier because I do want to bring this guy up. But another guy in contention, I think Mac Hughes, top 30 plus 130.
He almost made it for me.
Yeah, he's on my season-long team, so don't bet the guys on my season-long. They're not going to win. But top 30 plus 130, he's playing really good golf. He didn't rate out well for me. He's never going to rate out well for me. T3 last week, and he was playing confident and much more confident than I've seen Mac Hughes play in a little bit of time. Historically plays really well here at Memorial Park. Last 3, T7, T29, T16. So we're getting plus 130, top 30. It's hard to ignore this course fit here for Hughes and his ability to scramble. Like, he is the top player in this field in strokes gained around the green. So I like Mac Hughes at the plus 130, but that's boring, and we're not going to do boring. Talked about Augusta a little bit. Want to hear a name that no one is hearing, and we're going to add it here to the dad bet. You're going to laugh. Sam Bennett, top 40, plus 260. We're fucking doing it. We're fucking doing it. He played 5 Corn Ferry.
I saw this tweet and knew this was going to make it onto the show.
He's got 3 top 20s on Corn Ferry. Last year, T29 at Rocket Mortgage, T43 at US Open, T20 at Canadian Open, and a T16 at the Masters. A top 40 from Sam Bennett, who has displayed that he can compete with some of the best guys in the world, and he plays better in some of these difficult conditions at plus 260. Do I hate that? Absolutely not. You can also take it up to top 30 at plus 400. I'm not going to get that crazy. But like, I'm playing him in some DFS lineups. I like the top 40. I'm going to make it my dad bet with the Mac Hughes kind of like step dad bet, but plus 260. I like it there.
He's from Texas.
I know.
He lives in Texas. Like, he lives in Madisonville. He went to Texas A&M. Like, he is a perfect.
No one's talking about him. You heard it here first on the Stephie Smalls Show.
He's perfectly here first. Like, his first PGA Tour event was right up the road at the Valero Texas Open. Like, he's right there. Like, it makes perfect sense to play it. I'm so glad that you brought it up. I'm going to go ahead and take that as well. I might even find a way to bet the top 20 on him, because I know that's going to be over 10 to 1.
You don't even want to know some of the bets I put in. Like, actually, I need to look up
I'll find
it for him. I'm going to figure out a way. I don't care. I'm going to do it. What is your dart throw of the week?
So my dart throw is another guy that I pulled from my comp course database here.
Okay.
I took Bobby Mack.
Okay.
Robert McIntyre, 130 to 1. Rates out really interesting for me. And obviously the challenge this week is going to be finding like kind of high ceiling guys that don't cost as much. So Bobby Mack comes in here. Obviously the comp course narrative for me is the Genesis Scottish Open. Went toe-to-toe with Rory, flighting his shots, through the win there. That's obviously going to be a huge thing this week. Coming off a solid performance at the Ryder Cup. He's a little bit off to a slow start this year, but he did finish T6 in Mexico. And I did talk about earlier on the show that Vidanta is similar to Memorial Park in that you're going to hit a lot of drivers. So, and that it's good to, be good off the tee there. So he ranks 16th in strokes gained off the tee, 17th in strokes gained around the green, and 10th on strokes gained total on long and very difficult courses in his past 24 rounds. So I do like getting 130 to 1 on this here. And the top 20 for him is another interesting one that I took a look at here. You can get that at I lost it. I don't know where it is.
I look at it.
Where was it? I lost it again. There it is. Plus 360. You can get top 20 on him. So I really like that. And then if you're looking to go something a little bit safer there, top 40 plus 120. So I do like Bobby Mack this week, and that is my dart throw.
All right. And my dart throw is another name that unfortunately is actually becoming a little bit more popular, which seems to be happening with my dart throws. It's Tyson Alexander, 300 to 1 each
runner-up
way.
Here last year.
Second here last year. He's missed a shitload of cuts. Not a ton to love. His best finish was T16. You look at the last 12 rounds at Memorial Park. He's number 1 in strokes gained total. We're throwing darts here. It's 300 to 1. It's each way. Not a lot of risk there. Wish he wasn't becoming as popular, but that's all right. I'll probably play him too. I'll post on Pickett. Follow me on there for the rest of my plays. I'll probably play him like top 30 as well. I think that was sitting at plus 450, plus 500 last time I looked. And what's your DFS pick play of the week?
So my DFS play, and so, obviously, fair warning, I am not a huge DFS player. I typically look for, some values, guys who I think are going to be really good at paying off their salary. Jake Knapp is at
Yeah.
$8,000 on DraftKings. And I just thought he's an absolute perfect fit for this course. Obviously, you want a guy who can rip apart any course off the tee. Like, enter Jake Knapp, dude. 183 mile an hour ball speed. Guy can drive at 350 without even swinging hard. Like, and he's absolutely knocked down with his irons. Like, and the ball striking, the long iron play is going to be absolutely key here with a lot of those approach shots coming from 200 plus yards. So, give me Knapp here. I think he's going to play really well in this setting. Obviously, won Mexico at Vidanta, so another plus for me there. I really like the way that Knapp's going to play. He might still make it there for me. In top 30, top 20 betting markets. We're going to have to take a look and see. His top 30 is plus 120. So I do kind of like that as well.
Yeah, I like him. He keeps rating out well for me. So DFS lineup is probably the direction I would go because I can't get myself to bet on him. Another guy, because I'm not a quitter. So my final quad D is Bud Cauley. I want to do something with him. I cannot bet him again because I clowned myself, but he loves Texas. He gains over a stroke per round in Texas. I'm not a quitter. We're going back to Bud Cauley. 6,200. I think Sam Bennett, like I said, 5,200, something to look at there, but I'm going to go Bud Cauley for my DFS.
I think producer Ryan needs to title this episode "We're Not Quitters." The return of Keith Mitchell and Bud Cauley.
It really is. It really is. It's very fitting. There's 2 more events till the Masters. We're just trying to make the most of these last events. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Oh, please don't let Scottie Scheffler win this event.
Oh
Please.
my God, I hope he does. What?
I know you do, but the rest of us who are normal and don't buy clothes that say Scottie Scheffler is my dad on them.
To be clear, and I should have wore it today. I will be sure to wear it the rest of the time. We'll get out of here. Like, rate, review, comment, all the things, and we'll see you. I will see you on Friday for the NFL show.
And I will see you next Tuesday.
See ya.
Watch him make it, break it, break it, break it.